Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Young here, and today I'm back in a Fortnite video, and in today's video, I'm going to show you guys the best controller binds for those of you guys who play Claw. So I'm going to show you guys the most popular and the best binds that I've seen, as well as the friends that I've talked to that play Claw. I'm going to show you guys the best binds that I could come up with that I think are going to be the best for those of you guys who do play on Claw. So I'm going to be showing you guys those binds in this video. And before we get into the video, I'm going to be giving away 2,000 V-Bucks. So if you guys want a chance to win some free V-Bucks, all you guys have to do is to drop a like on this video. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure you guys do turn on post notifications. And lastly, leave a comment down below of either your Xbox gamer tag, your PSN gamer tag, or Epic account. And you guys will be automatically entered into the next giveaway. And alright guys, let's go right to the video. Alright, so here in this video, I'm going to be showing you guys the best binds to have for those of you guys who do play on Claw. And there's so many different things you can choose from as far as what you like to play on. So of course you have scuff controllers, elite controllers, Claw. Some people play with nothing, and then a lot of players play double Claw. So there is quite a few things you can choose from. There's probably some other ones I didn't mention, but there's so many different variants and ways you can hold your controller in this game. So I really wanted to be focusing on Claw. And I really wanted to make this video because Claw is probably the most, or I would say second, I would say it's probably the most popular way people play this game, because you can use a regular controller. You don't have to buy a scuff or elite controller, which are a lot more expensive. So Claw is going to be, for very good reason, the most popular of choices when it comes to holding your controller. So of course, if you play on PS4 controller, you could try out double Claw. And the reason why you could play double Claw is you look at the analog sticks, you can play Claw on the D-pad, and as well you can play it on the buttons on the right. When you play on the Xbox controller, you're not able to do that. So you can play regular Claw on Xbox, but as far as double Claw, you're only going to be able to play that on PS4. So when it comes to Claw, the best binds to choose from are the ones I'm going to be showing you guys right in this video. So a lot of the things are going to be default in the first combat controls. Not really too much is going to be going on here. The bigger changes are going to be in the edit and the building. So here I just have the normal settings, and the edit button I have here is going to be left stick down. This is the edit button that I've seen the most people have. It is super popular, and I've tried it out myself for myself I play an elite controller with paddles, and it felt kind of weird. I personally didn't like it. I prefer just to use one of the paddles, but I know a lot of people and a lot of you guys do like left stick down for edit. And so I would recommend that for those of you guys who play on non-Claw, or if you play on Claw, would recommend trying out left stick edit. And if you guys don't currently play it, then I'd give it a try. I think a lot of you guys might actually end up liking it, because when it comes to editing, you do that constantly throughout the game all the time, and you want to be able to not take your fingers off the buttons, which I guess would be the main purpose of Claw. But I feel like it could be hard to spam one of the buttons with Claw, and it would just be a lot easier to press left stick down to edit. So definitely give that a try. And as far as the buttons on the right, pretty much everything is default. So you have the toggle pickaxe Y, reload X, switch mode B, and you have jump on A. And I'm pretty sure everything that I just said is going to be the default or standard that you have. So as far as combat controls, these are probably the most common and what a lot of people and a lot of you guys are using. So I think these settings here for the combat controls are going to be best for the combat control aspect. So moving into the build controls, here we have, I guess a lot of people have different preferences. Like the first one, a lot of it is a lot of default. But here in the build controls, some people change up a few things. So I have inventory as up on the D-pad. Left on the D-pad is change material / trap. So if you're trying to switch from wood to brick to metal, and if you're trying to switch your traps, which you don't have to, because the only thing you have now in the game is launchpad. They took traps out completely, so you don't have to worry about that. It basically, the only thing that matters is change material. So you can change your material with the left on the D-pad, and then the other ones doesn't really matter. Edit, left stick down. And here on the right side, you have toggle pickaxe is Y. X is going to be trap picker, place / interact. So this is how you're going to be able to place your launch pads. Like I said, no traps in the game anymore as of right now, so you don't have to worry about that whatsoever. So when it comes to placing launch pads, you would press X on, or you would have your build out, and then you would just press X, and that's how you place a launch pad. Super simple, super easy to do. And so moving into the edit controls, and a lot of people have different preferences, but what I've seen to be the best, and what a lot of my friends are using right now, is the reset button, first of all, is going to be on left trigger. For myself, I actually have left trigger as confirmed when I play on my paddles, But for those guys who do play on claw, I would recommend trying out reset as left trigger. And so the D-pad is completely untouched. On the right side, you have, toggle pickaxe, confirm, jump. So confirm, I guess, is the big one, and that is going to be on the B button. For a lot of people, it just seems to be very comfortable based on the way they play. It just makes sense for them to put it on B because that's the way they've had it since probably season 2 or 3, when you had to press B for everything. So it's just super common and super easy to, I guess the muscle memory is already there. So a lot of people have their confirm button on B. So you have the reset on LT and confirm on B, and then crouch is right stick. So these are probably, I would say, the best controller settings or the most popular controller settings based on the friends that I've talked to, the people that have used it, and just from what I've seen. So for those guys who play on claw, I would recommend giving a lot of these a try if you guys haven't currently used them. I'm sure a lot of you guys would or have something very, very similar, because I know when it comes to people who have played double claw, regular, a lot of people have somewhat similar binds. Not everyone plays the exact same. When you have a handful of people, because you do have a lot of options when it comes to binds, so everyone's gonna have a little bit different taste, but most people are gonna have somewhat similar binds. And here's just my dead zones if you guys are curious. Currently I have an elite controller. My first one, I'm getting my Elite 2 controller back. I had to ship it out because, that piece of trash broke. And I think I'll get that replacement back, I think, next week sometime. So the dead zones I normally play on are lower. The left stick I usually play on, I think it's about an 11 or 12, and the right stick I play on an 8 or 9. So once I get the new controller in, then I'll move my dead zones back down. But those are the dead zones I currently have with my Elite controller. Just having them as low as I possibly can without having some crazy stick drift. That's really just how I go about choosing my dead zones. So those are the best controller settings, and it obviously is a little bit different from what I play, because currently I do play on Elite controller. I've used all 4 of my pals: jump, build, pickaxe, and edit. So when it comes to my binds, they do look quite a bit different because I'm not pressing the exact same buttons. But really the goal is to be able to press as many buttons as you possibly can, the most important ones, without having to take your fingers off the analog sticks, because you always want to have your fingers on the analog sticks because that gives you the most movement. And having the most movement in Fortnite is the biggest advantage, or one of the biggest advantages for those guys who play on controller. So you want to optimize your binds in a way that you're able to press the most amount of things without having to take your fingers off the analog stick. And when you're choosing those things, you want to see what you do the most. So building, editing, you can say pull out pick. I used to have pickaxe on Y, so I guess that's not like the hugest thing, but you do pull it out quite a bit. But I would say building, editing, jumping, those 3 things alone make up every single gunfight, constant. And those are the binds that you want to make sure that you have are very, very easily accessible. So whether you play non-claw, whether you play with paddles, scuff, whatever the case may be, that's going to be the ideal way to choose your binds. And lastly, if you do end up changing your binds or any of your settings, a really good way to practice that I like a lot is going to be playing box fight, zone wars, and things like that. Because when you ever change a bind and you're completely changing your muscle memory, it screws everything up, and it takes, at least for me, a good couple days to start to get familiar with it. And this is something that I experienced when I changed my binds. I used to have my pickaxe on Y, but I actually moved it over to one of my paddles because I used to have confirm on there, but with confirm on release I had no use for it. I decided to not take it on the paddle, so I decided to put pickaxe on the paddle instead of confirm. So it took me quite a few days, and it really did help playing a lot of zone wars and box fights, because you work on muscle memory at the same time you're in gunfights, so having the I guess the annoyance of dying over and over and over again, having to load up the game and load up your solos, load up your duos, and that can just be a pain to deal with. So playing box fights, playing zone wars, creative, anything like that is going to be a really, really good way if you ever decide to switch any of your binds, or if you decide to switch any of your sensitivity. That's what I would recommend doing. It's a very fun and easy way to improve, and also a very good way to get used to and get comfortable with new binds. A lot of my friends do this when they switch to keyboard and mouse, change binds, change sensitivities, all that kind of good stuff. Just one of the best things to do in my opinion, and I did recommend that probably in my last few videos, and it's probably, I would say, the best way to improve with this game. Just working on close range fights and box fights really is going to give you an advantage in pubs, arena, whatever you're playing. So I would recommend practicing those. And with that being said, that's wrap up for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys liked it, make sure you guys do hit that like button. Make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on my post notifications so you guys are notified for every single new video. And alright guys, I'll see you next video.